Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is Spirit Journey, and I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday evening. Yes, it is about, let's see, 7:44 p.m. Sunday evening, and I just ate and just relaxing. And I feel pretty good right now. My back is feeling a little better. I want to talk about two things before I go to bed. I almost forgot about mentioning about a dream that not a dream. Yes, hello, Johnny Dragon. Yes, hello. Welcome. I hope you had having a good Sunday. Just getting started. I want to talk about, as I was saying, I last week I was sleeping, and then, as many of you know who've been following my channel, what I do when I wake up in the morning, whether I was dreaming or not, when I wake up, I keep my eyes closed and I just keep my body and mind still. And what happens at that time, many times, I start to sometimes see things. And what I saw this time last week, I was, let's see, I saw what looked like almost like a medallion, something round. And it was like a yellowish orangey color, like an antique type of thing. It looked worn, and it was dark surrounding this medallion. And then I noticed in the center of that round thing, there were numbers. And the numbers were written in, regular numbers form, but like an old-fashioned number, like the script, or what you call the font of a number. It was like very, very curvy, the letters, and the beginning of the letter. Of the number. I said letter, I meant to say numbers. The beginning of the number when you're writing it, it had like a ball, like a roundish type of curve to it, and the end of the number, the same thing. And I think the numbers, like I noticed with myself, and maybe you're like that. You were like that also, but like. For me, I could see something, but I'm not able to do a recall of it. For whatever reason, for me to be able to recall what I see, I have to say it to myself in my head. Subvocalization is called. I have to say the number, whether verbally or in my mind. I have to hear what I'm looking at, like, oh, okay, that's a dog, a cat, that's a tree, that's a person. I have to say it because I won't be able to recall it. So I remember me trying to do it very quickly before the numbers went away. If I could remember right, the three numbers were, and it could have been in this order. I think the number was a 3, a 2, and a 5. I know definitely there was a 5, but I think those were the numbers, 3 to 5, or 2, 3, 5, something like that. And again, it's within that little center, that round medallion or whatever, and had those numbers. And I remember the color. Like I'm fascinated with certain colors, and I like the like orange colors that have like an orangey or yellowish orange hue to it. That's just me. I like that. And let's see. Then also, I've been seeing this a lot, this other thing, like I could be, let's see. It's very, what I'm looking at tends to be very, the lighting is very poor. And I just see like almost like moonlight, how moonlight reflects off of surfaces. So, it might be dark outside, but with the moonlight, it has some illumination on it. So that's almost how it's like for me at times when I'm looking at something. I saw again what looked like these giant insect types of stuff, and it looks as though they're coming towards me. And I remember in my mind, I'm saying, I'm not physically there, but I'm seeing this thing, and so they shouldn't be able to do anything to me. I'm just observing, almost like remotely, like I'm looking at a camera through a camera, and I'm seeing these things, but they seem to be seeing me. I assume that that's what's happening. That those things, whatever what they are, could see me, and they seem to be coming right towards me, but they're not getting me, whatever. But I'm like looking at them, and it's real faint. It's really hard to see clearly, but that's what it seems to look like for me. They almost remind me of ants, those black ants that you see, just long expenditures, I'm sorry, expenditures. And it just a lot of something coming out. And it looked like it could be like a shiny black or shiny dark color. But that's what it seems to look like for me. And so I'm wondering, anyone out there who does meditations, have you ever seen anything like them? Again, I've been seeing them a lot when I do the meditation upon awakening. I've never seen anything like them during what you call like a meditation. Like, let's say you're out and about, whatever, and then you just decide, hey, let me take a seat and just close my eyes and relax and do meditation. I've never seen them then. I only seem to see them upon waking up from my sleep from the evening. Now it's morning, and I keep my eyes closed and just relax. It's only at those times, upon awakening up from my sleep. And so I'm wondering what I'm tapping into when I'm waking up from a long sleep versus, let's say, you just want to do a meditation on any time of the day, let's say for 15 minutes or something like that. At those times, I never seen anything like them before. So I'm just putting out there for you viewers of this live stream, have you ever seen any of these type of beings, or you're doing some type of seeing something, but it's like you can see them, but they're not able to really interact with you. It's almost like you're just an observer. Okay. And the second thing I want to talk about is it's a little bit more controversial. And again, this channel is called Spirit Journey, and I use this platform to share the feelings, my experiences on a spiritual level. I talk about all different aspects of the things I experience. And one thing, as I think I mentioned several times, that I used to be a Christian, and I used to be a Christian the mass majority of my adult life. I was introduced to Christianity. I might have been maybe 21 years of age, and then by 26 years of age, I actively sought going to church and what they call fellowshipping and everything. And I called myself a devout Christian, a born again Christian. And if any Christian is watching this live stream, my point is not to. My intent is not to offend anyone, but it will probably offend some individuals. So again, it's not my intent, but I'm just want to express my feelings and my emotions at the time. But again, religion is a personal thing, and each one of you decide for yourself what your spiritual or religious system is going to be, and if it helps you, if it motivates you, if it makes you a better person, go for it. Go into any practice that you want to, and you not to go into something because someone else is telling you what to do. No, it should be your freedom of choice. But today, when I was getting my groceries for dinner, I was walking past. Well, on the opposite side of the street, there was someone playing the guitar, and it was Christian music. Someone singing a Christian song, and I forget the name of the song that was playing. And I saw a line and tables. I said, oh, they must be maybe feeding the poor, because I walked past that area before, and that's the same spot where they have where they serve food for people who need food, people who live on the street. And I felt uncomfortable. It was weird. Again, I used to fellowship a lot. I did what do you call proselytize. I've gone out one time, not in the U.S. mainland, but when I used to live in the Caribbean. The pastor said, hey, go out and share the gospel, and I've done that. So here, many years later, and here now, I used to be a part of Christian organizations, well, Christian church, and now I feel uncomfortable about hearing this Christian outreach, as they might call it. I started saying to myself, oh, what's the song? Because I think it was the song that was really making me feel uncomfortable. I mean, it was a popular Christian song, but I said, I felt like, how could you're offering now what they're doing to offer food for the hungry? It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I don't have any problem with that. But I think what was stirring in me is that you have someone who's hungry and is willing to wait on a line to get the food, but they're not there to hear Christian music or proselytizing. They're there, they just want to get food and go. And to have them, to force them to stay there and be fed, but you got to hear this stuff first and then you get fed. And it made me uncomfortable. If someone is hungry, just feed it, just give them the food. If I feel it's all a big lie. And I know that that's might be offending someone, but I feel like you have someone who is, a book that's saying that someone existed and that this person loves you and that they said that they're going to come back soon. So I thought to myself, now let's say I had a boyfriend. Let's say I'm stuck in a let's say we're in a car accident and only he was able to crawl out, and he's gonna run and get help. He says, honey, I don't, I'll come back for you and get you out. And let's say he never comes back and I die. But like in Christianity, their excuse is, well, he's going to come back soon, but no one knows the day of the hour. So if this character Jesus knew that he wasn't going to come back in time for this person, and this person is long dead, why even tell someone that you're going to do something if it's not going to be in their lifetime. He could have just, boom, just left to go to the Father. Doesn't have to make any promise to anyone, and come back when you come back. But to have people waiting and waiting, I felt it was cruel. I feel like, wow, why would, and again, Jesus said he was, according to the scriptures, that he is the Son of God, but not God himself. At least according to the scriptures, what Jesus proclaimed what he was. So if Jesus was able to leave, how come he didn't take people with him? If he had all this power, and the Christian belief is that Jesus is God. So if Jesus is God, how come he didn't have the power to bring those people who are followers of him? Why did he leave them behind? Why didn't he tell them, hey, I have to do this right now, and I don't know when I'm going to come back, and you're probably going to die before you come back. I mean, I come back, but I have the power to bring your body back to life. I have the power to reincarnate you, to put you, solidify you again, and then come be with me. Or I could, if you're still alive when I come back, I could zap you and beam you up, like Star Trek, beam you up, and you go on on whatever spacecraft or planet or whatever where this heaven's supposed to be. I just feel that it's like a hoax, that you're waiting. There's so many hurting people out there. There's so many people. You have people like you have children who are being kidnapped, who are being tortured, dismembered, murdered. All these things. Little children, they're innocent. You have wars and everything, and you have people, hey, who are not about that. They want to live goodly lives. And if God is alive, how come this God is not listening and having the people come up with them? But you're stuck here. You're just miserable. And again, they said that 2/3 of the angels did not fall. So where are those 2/3 of the angels to equip those people who are of God? Why is it that the 1/3 of the fallen angels that are remaining, that fell, how come they exert their influence on this planet and exert all this power and misery, but the other 2/3 of the angels don't seem to be doing anything? So this was my concern. And this is the pain that I feel when I see people ministering to the hungry. And then these same religious organizations, like the Catholic Church, that are in what they call molesting children. Okay, now it's known what they're doing. So what happened to God to rescue those poor children from the Catholic Church? And even the people that work in the institution, they're not even helping. So it seems like the representatives of this God, and the Catholic Church is the oldest church, so-called Christian church. And it has all this power, but they fail to monitor themselves and to protect. And I don't like the idea of having, even when I was still a Christian, 20 some odd years, almost 30 years ago, I knew someone who lived in a shelter, and they invited me for this dinner at the place. And it's like, you got to sit there. It was the Salvation Army. I mean, some things I respect with the Salvation Army, because they did shelter this person who I knew, and they had him work for that place, and they fed him, and so I respect that. But I feel funny, like, you got to sit there and hear all this indoctrination before you feed them, or during when you feed them. When I'm eating, I just want to relax and enjoy. I don't want to be proselytized. So even back then, I felt a little funny about it. And what really makes people want to follow, to what makes them tick? What are they really about? You don't have to have someone. I mean, if someone exerts a lot of goodness and power, like the character Jesus in the New Testament, he displayed power ability. He displayed the ability to walk on water, on top of water. He was able to manifest material objects, like a whole bunch of food. So it was a lot of metaphysics he was doing, magic. He performed magic in front of them, and he allegedly brought someone from the dead. That's another biggie. So when you manifest, people will look and people will follow you. You don't have to sing any song and wait for do all this stuff and in order to feed someone. It's people are going to want to stay and hear what you have to say. And if you had all that much power to manifest power in the lives of those people so that they don't have to beg for food. Now that's true magic. Say, hey, you want to learn magic so that you can materialize food for yourself and your family, or materialize money, or a house for yourself? That's power. And that's a real God that will show how to do those magic so that we don't have to beg other people or wait for someone to finish singing a song so that we can get a free meal. So that's all that I have to say. They did give good portion sizes. Because when I was finished getting my groceries and heading back, and so now I was on the opposite, the side of the street that they were actually on, and they gave they had a big piece of chicken on their plate. It was a nice, healthy size plate. And so I commend that organization. They at least gave them a good portion. They gave them a good portion. So it's not all loss, but it would be nice that, let me get my little doggy. Yeah, she was just, look, you want to get a picture? Look. Look at me. See that? Yeah, so at least, yes. So I commend them from giving them a healthy size portion of food on their plate. And again, I don't want people play games with other people. If you got a great organization, show your strength, show your ability, and you will have people following you. But don't manipulate people to follow you for a plate of food when they're hungry. That's all I have to say. And if God of the Bible really existed, he wouldn't play. Why would he play games with people and say he's going to be back real soon? when he's not. He didn't come back real soon, and then they say, "Oh, don't argue. Don't argue about what God does or doesn't do." I don't believe that there's a supernatural God per se. I believe that there's technologies. I believe you have beings from other worlds and dimensions, and that they're playing games with us. And like what Trump was saying a couple of months ago, he's going to implement a sixth military branch of the government called the Space Force. And I think what they're doing is going to, disclosure. And so they have to do it in increments. So they just announced saying, okay, we're going to have this space stuff. So eventually from creating, I wonder what type of spaceships they're going to have. They say they want to implement it in 2 years. They want it fully running in 2 years. So we're going to start seeing, I guess, spacecrafts and all this other anomalies that already exist now, but now they want to say, oh, we're going to have the sixth military branch called the Space Force. And I wonder what type of people they're going to recruit. So you're going to go to your recruiting office and you say, I want to be a part of the Space Force. Are they all going to be all one particular race? And if a particular race, which one? Will the people look like me? Or will they look like somebody else? Will they have men and women? So this would be very interesting to find out. And I think this is all part of a disclosure. There's no, God of like the Bible, but I believe they're beings from other worlds, other dimensions, and that they have powers, or I should say technologies, to manifest, to materialize, dematerialize, to affect the way you think, to affect what to influence what you see. And as I mentioned, what happened to me in May, that something interfered with me and affected what was going in my mind, affected my ears, gave me earache, gave me GI upset for 1 whole month, and affected my heart rate. It was speeding erratically. I think that's all what it's about. Technologies. And these technologies, you have a civilization, it reaches its apex, and then boom, goes down. And then they initiate another civilization. Then they introduce the same Bible. And in the Bible you have Genesis, and then you're going to have a race of people playing Shem, another one Ham, and Japheth. And they take turns who's going to be which superior group. And it's like a script. The script works, and they just keep on reissuing that religion, and it's a religion of control. But again, you choose your own belief system. If it works for you, if it makes sense for you, it helps you out and gives you the type of life it does, stick with what you have. But for me, I see that there's something more to the scriptures, and that if there's God, and I believe that there's a creator, there's something out there, that there is a power. I respect power. I respect nature. And for me, that's God, that life force. I've experienced that. I've experienced things that didn't make sense. And again, I'm new to all this. But what the truth is, it may not materialize. My understanding may not happen overnight, but it too is probably going to be in steps. So I thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And again, when I upload this video, you can write your comments below, and you could share this video with friends or family members, and you could subscribe to my channel, Spirit Journey, and I also have a PayPal me account. And so if you want to donate, you can just go to my channel, and on the top right of the banner you could see, you'll see the icon that you could click on, and you just follow the prompts on it. So any amount, whatever what your heart, if your heart speaks to you to donate a particular amount, then that's what you donate. It's all volunteer, and all would be appreciated. And lastly, you can give me the thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Thank you again, and enjoy your evening. And my little doggy, Lily here, she says hello and goodbye also, okay? So take care. Bye-bye.